We know some of you have been listening to us for a while, for a long while. And we know that you are enjoying being out on this leading edge of thought. We know that you are. The law of attraction is a vibrational manager that brings thoughts that are like it together. So when you start with a general thought and you keep it active within yourself for a while, or even come back to it frequently, what happens is that general thought begins to become more specific by the power of law of attraction. It just has to. We've said to you that genius is really just attention to a subject. Anyone who focuses upon anything will attract more and more and more and more and more information around it, because law of attraction insists that it be that way. And the only thing that ever keeps something from evolving and expanding in a way that is really pleasing to you is that you think about it and you think about its opposite. I want it, but where is it? I want it, but where is it? I want to understand this, but I don't. I want to feel good, but I feel bad. In other words, when you think opposing thoughts right up on top of the thought, then you don't allow the progression. You just hold yourself in this place. You can't stand still, but you can move toward and away, 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 toward and away. So as you decide that you're going to begin focusing, and you're going to begin focusing deliberately, it will go really easily for you if you decide that you will start generally. And we want to say to you in an emphatic way, we may not have ever said this to you at all before, and so to start emphatically means it really matters. We're going to start emphatically by saying to you that if you will approach your life experience, your point of attraction, in terms of emotions, you're starting in a general place, and that will serve you really, really well. Because as you start in a general place of wanting to feel good, and you focus there by remembering things that did feel good, by reaching for thoughts that felt good to you, by really picking around the buffet of your world, the buffet of your family, the buffet of your husband, the buffet of your children, the buffet of your business associates, the buffet of strangers. And so as you are poking around the buffet that is surrounding you, and you are deliberately looking for things that you think will feel good when you come upon them, what will begin to happen, you're already doing it much of the time, but now you'll be doing it deliberately, you will begin to establish an emotional grid or an emotional vibrational foundation that will immediately begin to fill in with more detail. And the more you focus with a determination to feel good as you're focusing, the more the details that fill in around it will feel good too. Until, before you know it, these things will happen to you. First, you'll be having way more fun and you'll be feeling way better more of the time. And next, you will begin to accept the rightness of your place in the universe. You'll just feel adored. You will begin to feel the worthiness that you have been longing for in such amplified fashion, because when you establish a grid that feels good, only things that feel good to you can come to you. And you'll start using words, if you don't know about what we teach, you would use words like lucky. Oh, that was really lucky. That was really a really lucky thing that happened. And of course, there is never any luck involved unless you want to call luck law of attraction's response to the vibration that you're offering and subsequent bringing to you the things that match it. We'll go with you if you'll go there with us. In other words, that's as lucky as it gets. I am fortunate enough to know about law of attraction, and fortunate enough to be wise enough to be aware of how I feel, and fortunate enough to really care about how I feel, and fortunate enough to be willing to pay attention to the way I feel, that I will focus myself into an emotional general grid of happy thoughts, and in doing so, other things that match that will come to me with such detail and such specifics that I will then understand the power of the universe that I have held in my hands every day that I've been here, that now I am applying with deliberate intent. It is so much fun to be in this knowing place where the universe is responding to you and you know why. You know why. It's because of how I'm feeling. It's because of how I'm focusing. It's because of the vibration that I'm offering. So now as you move through your day, this is all happening whether you know that it is or not. So you have two choices. You can do it deliberately or you can do it by default. And the way you do it by default is by observing what's going on around you and just responding to what you're observing. We call it sloppy thinking or sloppy observing, or the squeaky wheel syndrome, where the squeaky wheel gets your attention and it never feels good when you look there. And that squeaky wheel stuff will cause you to establish a vibrational grid that will fill in with louder squeaks until you become genius oil canners. Humans often measure their talents by how good they are at putting out brush fires. And we want to zap you with the desire to work with the laws of the universe instead of against them. Work with them. As you understand that your emotions are your friend and that there is so much good that wants you. And then what happens after you've established a grid? What's the next logical thing that will happen? We're talking about 17 seconds without going off on a goose chase and 17 seconds without going off on a goose chase. We're talking about 17, 17, 17, 17, 17 until you've got 68 seconds of not getting off on any tangents. That's enough to create a substantial enough vibrational emotional grid that now thoughts that blend and mesh will begin flowing into your mind. And the first thoughts that will come are thoughts like, there's nothing for me to worry about. The first thoughts will come like, I'm right on track. Everything's unfolding nicely. I'm glad to know what I know. This is not going to be difficult. There must be a lot of non-physical energies that are helping me. There's a wonderful world out there. I'm looking forward to figuring this out. I'm glad I don't have to figure it out all at once. They will be more tangible, more specific thoughts that will flow to you, but they will dovetail and blend, mesh, merge perfectly with the grid that you've already established. And then another stream of thoughts, and then another stream, and then it will reach further into your environment where you will begin to notice that the phone calls are less. You will begin to notice that people are figuring things out without you. You will begin to notice that the universe is managing this much better than you could consciously do. Some years ago, when Esther was at her most overwhelmed state, we taught her the placemat process. We've talked about it through the years. And the placemat process, we're going to dovetail it now with this grid process because they are essentially the same thing. We encouraged Esther to take a placemat because she was at a restaurant that had a paper placemat. So we said, draw a line down the center of the placemat. And on the left side, write, things I will do today. And by that, we mean things that you pretty much got to do today in order to fulfill your obligations. And on the other side, write things that you would like the universe to do. And only put the things that you must tend to on your side. Well, what we were actually doing with Esther was teaching her to trust and release large quantities of activities that she felt like she needed to do, to leave it to the universe. It was the precursor to this grid conversation. Because the grid conversation says, you take the time, and it only takes a little time, to create an emotional grid. The universe will find the partners and friends and cooperative components to fill it in. And your work effort, the amount of time and energy and action that will be required of you, will be cut in half on the first day, and in half again on the second day, and in half again on the third day, until people will be looking at you and saying, what are you spending your time doing? And you'll just say to yourself under your breath as you walk away, because you know they won't get it, grid work. I'm doing grid work. Grid work. It's establishing yourself in the center of who you are and allowing all of the consciousness that has the ability to assist you. So when you get an idea about a property, it will be a good one. Jerry said to Esther the other day, she was writing with him, because she was talking about all of the things that she needed to do, and she wanted him to help her figure out where she should put her attention first. What are the things that matter the most? And in her overwhelmment, she wasn't even hearing his suggestions very well. So he just talked to her in very general terms, really general terms. Talked to her about love, talked to her about feelings of well-being, just really general terms until she sort of settled down into the energy of that. And then he said something that made her laugh right out loud, and it made more sense than anything that she'd ever thought about relative to having too much to do. He said, remember the plate spinning act? He used to talk about the plate spinning act a lot and the difficulty of keeping the plates spinning. And he said to Esther, some of the plates are spinning significantly and they are stable. Some of the plates are wobbly. Let the wobbly ones fall. Let the wobbly ones fall. Because in your attention to the plates that are wobbly, you're getting wobbly. You see, where when you focus upon what doesn't need your attention, and you let what doesn't need your attention then be the basis that you establish for the next and the next and the next and the next, soon you discover how many partners and friends and cooperative components you have to assist you in all of this. And your satisfaction comes from knowing that you did the work. And as our friend said, it's such a glorious feeling of birthing the thought. And we're wanting to soften that by letting you know you didn't birth it when you let it appear in your grid. You birthed it a long time ago. You recognized the thought that had been birthed. And that recognition is just going to keep coming and coming. It's going to come in the form of ease. It's going to come in the form of lightheartedness. It's going to come in the form of funny people coming into your experience. It's going to come in the form of ideas popping into your mind at perfect times. And it's going to come in the form of ideas relative to the property acquisition and releasing and managing that you're all a part of. It's going to come in regards to all of those things. But as it comes, as each piece of it comes, once you've done this basic grid work, you're going to feel satisfied as it comes, and you're going to feel an integral part of it. Long before we were talking about the vortex, long before we were talking about the grid, long before we were talking about things moving downstream, really in the early stages when we were talking about you create your own reality, we were explaining to Esther, as you are focused in your now, and you care about how you feel, that as you find that feeling place, everything will fill in around that. It really is finding the feeling place. And then we said, the only creation that is really satisfying is deliberate creation. And now we're saying to you, as an extension of that, what deliberate creation is control of your own grid, which means conjuring of your own emotions and maintaining it long enough that the universe begins filling it in. And this is the piece that we so want you to get. Filling it in with recognizable things. Recognizable things because you will recognize the vibrational essence of them. And you will know the part that you played in them. And there is nothing more rewarding than to meet someone and hear them say something and know that they came because of the work that you did, you see. We've been telling you for a while that there are 3 steps to the creative process that you have come here to experience. Step 1 is ask with clarity of that which you want. And the contrast of your life experience focuses that asking within you, whether you're ready to let it in or not. That asking is sharp within you all of the time. Step 2 is source in all of its readiness, in all of its answering, in all of its knowing, in all of its love, in all of its awareness of you, is there in the vibrational frequency of the answer that you've been asking for. Every solution that you seek, every answer that you want, right there, ready for you to receive when you do step 3. And step 3 is the part that we talk about all day, every day as we come together. Step 3 is the part where you figure out how to allow yourself to be in the vibrational frequency. Allow yourself to be in a frequency that does not resist. Allow yourself to be in a frequency that allows rather than pushes away. Allow yourself to be in the frequency where the source within you can stand with you, see with you, hear with you, smell with you, taste with you, touch with you, know with you the power and the importance of this moment of contemplation, this moment of introspection, this moment of awareness, this moment of conversation, this moment of human interaction, this moment of being alive in your physical body, alive in your physical body. Can you hear what we're saying? Not just you alive in your physical body, but you allowing life in your physical body. You allowing the life that you really intended to flow through this physical body. Occasionally, someone you see is doing that, and you call them the master of dance, or the master of mathematics, or the master of music, or the master of words, or of poetry, or of science. You call them masters. You call them freaks. You are amazed. You are amazed when someone be's normal. You are amazed when someone finds that way to be the whole being that they were born to be. We want you to stop